Shmoneh. Welcome back to Babylon Talmud. Today we're studying Daf Kuf Zayin, Daf 107 of Masechta BavaKama. Friends. Chaver. We only have like 12 daf left in Masechta BavaKama. We're gonna have to earn those dafs, Chaver. We're gonna have to earn those dafs. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm only up to today's Daf Kuf Zayin. What am I up to? Daf Kuf Yud Aleph or something. But dude, this is not looking easy. BavaKama is it's the big leagues. Why am I saying this? Oh, I don't know. But so I'm recording this daf right after I finished recording yesterday's daf, which I had started 3 days ago recording. I'm getting a shtickle tired. Oh my god, it's already 6 o'clock at night. Cheve, it's already 6 o'clock at night. I have to record this daf, and then I have to review a daf. I'm telling you, like I've been whining about, BavaKama is very demanding. Very demanding. Alright, anyways. What I'm saying is, I hope I'm not going to be too tired over here. But hopefully, you see, the thing is, I had a whole shtickle yesterday about pushing through the mush, right? Push through the mush. But there's a difference between mush and too tired. When you're too tired and like you have no short-term memory, you can't really push through that. All right, let's go weiter. Oh, but today's Gemara is gewaldig. Today's Gemara is gewaldig. Mode b'miktsas. Talks about mode b'miktsas. Eruv parshis. Geschmack stuff. Shlichus yad. Good stuff, very geschmack stuff on today's daf. Very geschmack stuff on today's daf. Okay, let's do it. Okay, daf Kuf Vav Amud Beis, 3 lines from the bottom. V'amr b'chir bar Abba, Amr b'yechnon, hatoyin taines ganif b'pikodin, einu chayv ad, sheyichpor b'miktzas v'yode b'miktzas my taima, d'amr kraki uzeh. Wow. Okay, so this is kind of weird. I don't know. Whenever I think about Modeh b'miktzas, and I think that whenever like Modeh b'miktzas has come up in Babylon Talmud, it's usually by alone, as we're going to see in a minute, right? Generally, we assume I think when we talk about Modeh b'miktzas, we talk about Shimon lends Reuven $1,000. Shimon says to Reuven, "Hey Reuven, I'd like to collect my $1,000." Reuven says, what does Reuven say? Reuven says, "What? $1,000? You crazy? You lend me $500." And he's right. So in that case, he would have to swear, and we're going to learn about this in a second, that that he's telling the truth, that he only borrowed $500, not $1,000. Reb Chibar Abba is saying that Modeh b'miktzas actually applies to a pikodin. So, for example, if Shimon gave Reuven 2 oxen to watch, and Shimon then goes to pick them up, and Reuven's like, they're gone. One of them is my fault. I owe you. The other one was stolen. It's not my fault. So in order for him to be chayiv for toyin taines ganif, right, and that if witnesses come and say that he has them, so he'd be chayiv kefel. So it would only be by modeh b'miktzas. It would be by a scenario where he says one of them is stolen, but also takes responsibility for one of them. So again, so v'amr b'chibar Abba, amr b'yochanan, hatoyin taines ganif b'pikodin, that a fellow who, so Reuven by the oxen says that it was stolen, enu chayv ad, he's only b'chayv kefel ad, sheyichpor b'miktzas v'yode b'miktzas. He denies one, part of it, but admits part of it. My time I'll come to Amakaki Huzeh, because the whole, right, this pasuk where we learn out Modeh b'miktzas from, ki huzeh, that, I don't know, this somehow teaches Modeh b'miktzas, part of it, this part, I guess, I don't know. So that is in the context of, the fact of the matter is, it's in the context of Shomer Chinam. So therefore, Rabbi Yochanan understands it face value that Moda b'miktsas is a shomer chinam sugya. Ufliga Rabbi Chia bar Yosef, but this is at odds. It argues with Rabbi Chia bar Yosef. Rabbi Chia bar Yosef, Eruv Parshias Kosuv Kan. Very, very interesting. That says Rabbi Chia bar Yosef that no, Moda b'miktsas is not a shomer chinam sugya. It's a halva'a sugya. It's halacha by loans. V'chiksiv ki uzeh amilveu dichsiv. And when it says moda b'miktsas, it's talking about a loan. That Shimon lends Ruvain $1,000. He comes to collect it from Ruvain. Ruvain says $1,000. What are you talking about? $500. So that's where Ruvain needs to go to Bezdin and swear. Umayshna milve. And how come we're saying, right, and what's Eruv Parshas? Eruv Parshas means that there's a mixture of different Parshas, right? Meaning, even though it says in the Parsha, in the context of Shomrim, it says Kiyuzeh, it says Mod Miktsas, but it's mixed up in the wrong place. Really, it's a pasuk by halvos, by loans, and Kesef Talve Esami. Kiderabba, it's like Rabba, by Umayshna milva. How come we're saying that this pasuk of Moed Miktsas is out of order, is out of place, and really it's a pasuk that belongs by halvos? Kidrabba, it's like Rabba. Rabba says, Rabba, Pneima Omer Teire Moed Miktsas Atayni Yishava. How come Bichlal there is a concept of Moed Miktsas? How come there's this concept that when you deny half the claim but admit half the claim, you have to swear? The answer is because in the context of a loan, Chazake Ein Adam Meiz Panav Bifnei Baal Chovo. Because Shimon lent Ruvain $1,000. Ruvain needed $1,000. Ruvain needed $1,000. Shimon lent it to him. Shimon did Ruvain a favor. He helped Ruvain out. So therefore, Ein Adam Meiz Panav Bifnei Baal Chovo. A person is not going to be such a shmendrik, such a kafri tov, such a shmendrik that Shimon lends him $1,000 and he's just poshut going to deny it. That's absurd. That's mamish a shmendrik, a shtunk. So in other ways, a fellow is not going to be such a shtunk before somebody who lent him money. Now here's the thing. Really, Ruvain ideally would deny all of it, right? So that way he wouldn't have to pay. Now the reason why Ruvain is not going to deny ever having borrowed money is because he doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have the heart to look at Shimon straight in the eyes and say, "You didn't lend me any money." Now the truth is, if he could, he would obviously like to pay back Shimon in full. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's not looking to rob Shimon. Shimon helped him out. By the kofar le b'miktsas, the reason why Ruvain is saying you didn't lend me $1,000, you lend me $500 is sover imodino le b'chule. Well, because if I say of course I owe you $1,000, well then tova le b'chule. Well then obviously he's going to ask for the $1,000. But right now things aren't so easy for me. It's not so easy for me to give up $1,000 right now. Ishtemit li mia hashto adahavu li zuze ufarayno. What I'll do is how about this? What I'll do is this. I don't want to deny ever having borrowed any money because that really would be very ungrateful to Shimon. At the same time, I don't want to admit the full amount, the full $1,000, because I don't have $1,000 right now I don't have so much money right now to return $1,000 right now. So how about this? I will say, look, it's not $1,000, it's $500. And that way, at least I'll give him half right now. And then when I have more money, when I have more money around, I'll pay him the rest. I'll go back to him, I'll pay him the rest. So because this is not true, this is not okay, that's unacceptable. It's not okay that because you have this whole scheme going on, Shimon's going to say, hey, pay me back my $1,000. You're going to say, no, it's only $500. That's not okay. And the thing is that we could see through his scheme that when Shimon says, hey, you owe me $1,000, Reuven says it's $500, we could say, oh, I recognize this scheme. Yeah, okay, he definitely owes the $1,000. He's just trying to, play shtick. So Hilkoch, Rama Rachmane, Shvur Ilove, Kiechi, Dilodile, Bechule. So therefore, the Bezdin says, wait a second, this looks suspicious. Why are you saying only 500 and not 1,000? Swear that you're telling the truth, because we have a feeling that maybe you're doing some kind of a scheme. Vigabe milvahu de ikale memarachi avagabe pikodin meiz umeiz. Now, this scheme is specific to a loan, out of the fact that Shimon did Reuven a favor, so he's gonna kind of have this I don't know what the word of the conscience, a guilty conscience, and he's going to do this all. Well, really, I want to deny all of it, but that's too much. But I also don't want to admit everything, so I'll just do 500 Seder. But this is not. But this whole cheshbon would not be the case by a pikadin, because over here, what does Reuven care? I mean, Reuven's the one doing Shimon a favor. Shimon's not doing Reuven a favor. So this whole cheshbon of trying to be nice to him and appreciate what he did, what Shimon did for him is not relevant when it comes to Asher Mechinam. Tani Rabbi BavaKama taught, I bought a shomrin, that there are 4 shomrim, the 4 shomrim, right? We're going to see them in a second, the usual suspects. Tzrichin kfir b'miktsas, voda b'miktsas. So any kfir b'miktsas, voda b'miktsas, it sounds, if I'm not mistaken, it sounds basically like what Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Yochanan is saying. Excuse me, Babylon. These are the 4 shomer chinam, okay, v'ashoyel, a borrower, noisei socher, shomer socher, v'asocher, and a renter. On my Rava says, Rav, my time with Rabbi BavaKama. How come Rabbi BavaKama says that Moed Mitzvah applies to the shomrim? Well, shomer chinam be'ejik be kiyuzeh. Well, shomer chinam is a no-brainer because it says kiyuzeh. That's right. That's the pasuk of Moed Mitzvah. It says by shomer chinam. Shoyel, no. Shomer Socher Yolef Nesina Mishomer Chinam, and we know that by a Shomer Socher also there would be Moed Miktsas because it says Nesina both by a Shomer Chinam and by a Shomer Socher. So just like by a Shomer Chinam, there's Moed Miktsas also by a Shomer Socher. Shoyel, how do you know that by a borrower there's also Moed Miktsas? V'chi Yishol Vav Mosef Alin in Rishon. Then when it says V'chi Yishol, right, the extra Vav. So it adds on the previous parsha of the Shomrim to say that by a shoyel also there would be modeh b'miktsas. Socher, and how do we know that by a socher it would be relevant? Ilaman da Omar kishomer socher, hanu shomer socher, ilaman da Omar kishomer chinam, hanu shomer chinam. There's a machlokas that we've seen I think twice already before, that is a socher, is a renter considered like a shomer chinam or like a shomer socher, but either way, there would be Moed Miktsas, whether it's like a Shomer Chinam or like a Shomer Socher. Alright, I'm starting to run low on short-term memory. Oh, man. Hopefully I have about 15 minutes left of short-term memory. That would be good. Otherwise, we're in trouble. I might only have 2. Alright. Or 1. V'amar B'chi Bar Yosef says, B'chi Bar Yosef. Let's see, maybe I can take a push through the mush. Let's see. You see, that's the thing. That's the thing with BavaKama. It's just so technical in a good way, not in a not good way. Technical in a good way, but it's just you have to really hold on to where you're at. It's it requires a lot of brain computing. So the mush, you could push through the mush, But once the short-term memory starts going, it becomes very, very challenging. But by Yosef, Hatointan is ganef b'pikorin. Right, it's like, are we talking about a pikorin, or are we talking about an aveda, or are we talking about who knows what, Geneva? Tointan is ganef. Ganef, did he admit it? Did he swear? Did he? So much. By Yosef, Hatointan is ganef b'pikorin. So what's this talking about? So Shimon gives a ox to Reuven to guard for him. And then Shimon comes to Reuven and says, okay, Reuven, can I have my ox back? And Atointan is gone because Reuven says, it was stolen. And then he swears. Enechayev ad sheyishlach bo yad. Says Reb Chia Bar Yosef that Reuven is only going to be chayev kefel when he says that it got stolen and he swears, if he used it. In order for Reuven to be chayev kefel, he would have had to have used the ox. My time, how come? Do my krov nikrav balabayis elo Elohim imlo sholach yodo. That the pasuk says by Shomachinam that he's potter from paying if he goes to Bezdin and he swears imlo sholach yodo. If he didn't use the that he didn't use the cow at all, the ox at all. B'mleches re'eu. Michlal di yisholach bo yad mechayev. Meaning that, but if he would be sholeach bo yad, then he'd be chayev. That meaning when witnesses come and testify that it's not stolen, but that he has it, he would be chayev when he is sholeach bo yad, when he has worked the ox. Lememra de b'sholach bo yad oskinon. So are we saying then that Davka by Tointan is Ganif, we're talking about where he, worked the ox? That this is what Rabbi Yochanan says, but omedes al evusa shanu. Question is, what are the implications of this? But that by Tointan is Ganif, it is when the ox is standing by its, I think, trough. A trough, I think, is a thing that like oxen eat from or drink from. I think that's basically all oxen do, is like eat and drink. I guess they like plow, I guess, if you want them to. But, but I guess they spend a lot of time by the trough, I guess. So, what exactly is the implication of Rabbi Yochanan saying that the ox is standing by the trough? Davka be'omedes al evusa ka'omar. Is it saying that Davka you can be chayiv for Tointan es ganif when the ox is standing by the trough? Aval, but sholach boyad. But if Reuven would have worked the ox, kono, so then he would have been made a kinyan on the ox by working it in an unauthorized way. Ushvu lo mahanya be klum. And if he has made a kinyan on it already, well then, he's making he's swearing about his own thing at that point, right? So do we say that Davka Rabbi Yochanan is saying that when the ox is standing by the trough and he hasn't worked the ox, that is when he'd be chayiv kefel for Tointan is ganif, Odilma, or perhaps afilu omedes al evusa ka'amar. No, maybe what it's saying is that when he sholeach boyad, so then he'd be chayiv, right? Just like Rav Chia Bar Yosef is saying, and we're saying that even if he's not sholeach boyad, if he's just standing by the trough, still he'd be chayiv for Tointan is ganif. Omer lozo shamati. So Rav Chia Bar Abba says, look, I haven't heard the explicit answer to your question. However, Kayotze Shamati, but I heard another thing which I think could be relevant. That if a shomer claims that the ox got lost, vinishba, and he swore that the ox got lost, v'chazav v'tointan is ganif, and then he made the claim that the ox got stolen, v'nishba, and he swore, and then witnesses came and Betzim said that he has it, potter, he's going to be potter from kefil. My time, how come? Lav mishum dekano b'shvua rishona? Is it not because, well, when he made the first shvua about the aveda, well then, once he swore that it got lost, so then the owner has no claims against him anymore. Meaning, he swore that it got lost, okay, it's done. So therefore, once he kind of is gone has gotten rid of the owners, Shimon, Reuven has gotten rid of Shimon, so then therefore, when he then makes the shvua about Geneva, and he already didn't have any relationship with Shimon anymore. And therefore, the same thing would apply, right? If that's what Rabbi Yochanan says over there, so then the same thing should apply, that if Reuven worked the cow, at which point he makes a kinyan on it, well then he's kind of shaked off Shimon, and there shouldn't be any kefil anymore at that point. So Amalei Lo, to which Abzer says no, Hol v'yotzi yedei bailim. Oh wait, what? What did I just say? Sorry, I explained that wrong. So Reb Chibar Abba wanted to make the claim, that when he made the first shavua about Avad, so basically he was lying. And it's like Rav Sheshes had said, I don't even remember when he said that. I think on yesterday's daf, I think that was what we started with on yesterday's daf, which is that if he's a liar, right, so here he's claiming that it got lost when it didn't, so then he's a gazlan. And therefore, at that point, once he's a gazlan, he's chayiv he's going to be chayiv at that point for everything. So then he's going to be potter for the Geneva after that. So here also, right, once he is sholech boyad, so then he makes a kinyan on it, and he would be potter from the subsequent Geneva. So Reb Zer says no, hol v'yotzi they bailim b'shvua rishona. No, rather it's because by the shvua rishona he kind of shook off the owner, that once he swore that it got lost, so then the owner is kind of gone, and therefore there's no there's no subsequent Geneva at that point. Claim of Geneva for the from the owner's perspective at that point. It Marnami is also stated Amar Ba'avan, Amar B'Ilo, Amar B'Yochanan Toin Tanis Aveda B'Pikad V'Nishba because of the Tanis Geneva V'Nishba, that if he first made the claim that it got lost, then he made the claim that it got stolen, Uvo Edim, and witnesses came, Potter Hol V'Yotzi De Bailim B'Shvua Rishona, he's going to be Potter since from the first Shvua when he claimed that it got lost. So then he kind of shook off the owners already, and therefore any subsequent shvua about Geneva and subsequent coming of witnesses, there wouldn't be any kefil anymore at that point. Rav Sheshes says, "If Sheshes is tointan is ganef because kefin sheshalach bo yad potter." So if Sheshes Taka says the opposite of Rav Chia Bar Yosef. Rav Chia Bar Yosef had said that in order for the shomer to be chayiv kefil, he would have to be sholeach yad. It says if Sheshes fakert, which is in order for him to be chayiv kefil, he has to not have been sholeach yad. Rav Sheshes atointan is ganef b'pikodin came to sholach boyad potter, then he would be potter from kefil if he had worked the ox. My time akom achi kam rachmano, because the pasuk says v'nikra balabais elo Elohim imlo sholach yodo v'gomer hasholach yodo potter. That that a shomachinam makes a claim that that it got stolen, and it's and part of the claim is that he didn't work the ox. But in order to be chayav, you wait, what? I'm sorry. Imlo shalach yodo v'gomer, meaning he's saying that that he's potter if he swears that it was stolen and he did not work it. If it turns out that he stole it, so then he would be chayiv kefil. But if he worked it, so then he would be potter from kefil. All right. Fine. No shalach yodo v'gama shalach yodo potter. But if he did work it, so then he would be potter if the witnesses came and said that he has it. Amar Rav Nachman. But Rav Nachman says to Rav Sheshes, I don't understand. V'alo shalosh shvus mashbinos. We make the shomer chinam make 3 swears. I don't know if that means that we mamish make him make 3 swears, or be'etzim where he's swearing about 3 things. Shvu shelo pashaiti ba. 1, he's swearing that he was not negligent, because a shomer chinam is responsible for negligent behavior. Shvua shelo shalachti bo yad, and he makes a shvua that he did not work the animal in an unauthorized way. Shvua she'eino b'rshusi, and he's swearing that he doesn't have it. So my love, shvua shelo shalachti bo yad. So let's say that the swear about the fact that he didn't work it is dumya the shvua she'eino b'rshusi, is like the shvua that it is not in his possession. Ma shvua she'eino b'rshusi ki migal yemilsa de'ise b'rshusei. That when it comes to the swear that he swears that it's not in his possession, if it becomes clear that if it's revealed that it is in his possession, chayiv, so he's going to be chayiv kefil. So also by the shlichus yad, if it turns out that he used it, he would also be chayiv. So meaning Rav Sheshes wants to say that if he worked the animal, he would be potter from kefil. Yet Rav Nachman wants to ask that, well, we make 3, he's swearing about 3 things. One of them being that it's not in his possession, and another one being that he didn't work it. Well, just like when he swears that it's not in his possession, if it turns out that it is in his possession, it'll be chayiv kefil. So also if he swears that he didn't work it, but it turns out that he did work it, he would also be chayiv kefil. So Amalei, Rav Sheshes responds, Lo, shvua shelo shalachti bo yad dumyo de shelo pashaiti bo. No, fakir. That we compare, when he says that he didn't work the animal, it's similar to like when he says that he was not negligent. Mashvua shlo pashaiti bo ki migalya milsa de pasha bo potter mi kefel. Afshvua shlo shalachti bo yad ki migalya milsa de shalach bo yad potter mi kefel. No, just like when he swears that when he's swearing that he was not negligent, if it turns out that he was negligent, so he'll be chayiv to pay the karen, not the kefel. So also when he says when he's swearing that he didn't use the ox, if it turns out that he did use the ox, he would be chayiv karen, but not kefel. Friends, that was the Daf Kuf Zayin of Masechta BavaKama. Peace out.